All right, so this is kind of a follow-up to our 320 drop test video that we just dropped the other day. See what I did there? I dropped the video on the gun. It's funny. So a lot more videos have come out of people shoving objects in the trigger of the 320 and makes it go off. Now, by no means is this meant to be a video defending sake. I don't do brand loyalty. Anyone will tell you, I do not do brand loyalty. What I hate is ridiculous situations to make something fail. Andy's gonna go ahead and handle this part of it. We're gonna repeat the whole thing, see if this happens. We also have an M17 this time as well, one that's seen a few things, which makes it even better because you know, that might be structurally compromised, we don't know. But let's be honest here, if you put anything in the trigger guard, I don't need these yet, put anything in the trigger guard, you are going to compromise the safeties that are internal, right? It is just a thing. By no means would a Safariland holster, Safariland holster owner, nothing goes into the trigger guard inside of a Safariland holster. It rides on the trigger guard on the bottom by the rails. And so even if you want to say, oh, it's simulating pressure, as Andy's going to show right now, the way that you have to put this screw in there is such an unrealistic way that it's just ridiculous. Take it, boss man.
So basically from the videos out there, a lot of them, they're putting something in behind the trigger to make it come back, which one gets rid of the firing pin block. That's one of the safeties in there. And then it's putting the trigger right up against the wall. So just like with any gun, you can stage a trigger, well, any striker fire gun. You can stage that trigger to go all the way up against the wall and it breaks. So with this, it's pretty easy to get it to go off when it's on the wall. So one difference here, our M17, this one made it through the fire, but the M17 has a safety on it. With the safety version, when that safety's on, the trigger cannot go back. As soon as that trigger's off, safety's off, the trigger can go all the way back to the wall again and shoot. So most guns work that way. Most of the striker fired guns work that way. They, it's not a Glock.
Nope, not a Glock.
The sear surface right here has to be cleared. Even if the firing pin block, just like our other test, we pulled the firing pin block out of here and all that, still couldn't get it to go off. But no matter what, that sear surface is still catching the back end of that striker. So that has to clear for this gun to actually go off. So with the test that you've seen online, I'm sure, you can make this go off by putting a screw in front of this trigger.
And before you start talking about getting debris or anything like that, what happened in South Dakota, so far, there is no indication that there was anything that could have gotten into that gun to just right, the 1,000,001.
There it went off.
So, but again, look at what you're doing to it. You're putting a foreign object at the right angle, at the right tension to get it to do it.
Right. And basically, just like any gun, when the trigger's pulled, it's gonna go off. So that's really all we're doing here, is getting that trigger all the way back as far as possible so that there's minimal contact on your sear surface. And that minimal contact allows that little bit of play in your railways to clear that sear surface, and it just goes forward. Because your trigger is already back, your trigger's already pulled and back, so this is already pushed onto your firing pin block. So once that's already pushed, there's nothing to block it. So you clear the firing pin block, clear the sear surface, and it's no different than pulling the trigger. And so right here, this is your firing pin block on a SIG. So this little piece of metal, it's not much, but this little piece of metal goes in here and blocks that firing pin to keep it going all the way forward like it just did. Just reset. So what that does is in this striker channel. As this position is, this will not extrude out of the chamber face. So that will keep your gun from going off. But by pulling that trigger, you're allowing this to rise, which lets it fire the gun.
So with the M17 that we have here, that's going to be kind of the stand-in for the M18. As you know, the M18 and the M17, same fire control unit. The difference is in size. And the M18 was the one that had that incident in South Dakota. So as Andy will show, the safety does kind of matter even with the ridiculous screw test.
So the difference here with that safety in place, this trigger can only go so far back. So you're not actually impeding on the firing pin block or any of that. So you can put this screw in however tight you want, have as much tension on that trigger as you want, and this gun, like it's stripping the frame right now, the gun won't go off. So safety's on, trigger can only be pulled back so far. So what that does is it does keep all the safety mechanisms from being able to be bypassed. This other gun did not have a safety, and so you could bypass them.
So this isn't necessarily like an endorsement, like I said before. It's just, it's not simulating anything realistic, would you say?
Not at all.
No. So yeah, if you fiddle around with something, you're gonna get it to go. No, there is no financial stake in this. We've taken our 320s off the range. You know, we're not playing. But it's just a little ridiculous when you start sticking stuff in the trigger. No holster has anything that goes into the trigger. Even if it's pressure put on the sides of the trigger, it's not replicating the same thing. It's just not. Personally, do I think that there was a problem with this gun? Yes. I think there was a problem when it first happened in the early, when was that? 14, 15, 16, whatever the first, a while ago. It would be very interesting to see on all the ones that went off if they were post-recall or pre-recall, or no, sorry, voluntary upgrade. Because I genuinely think those first few batches or the first few years before they started getting into hot water over it, there was something wrong. These guns that we have, the black one, we took it off the sales floor the day after the incident in South Dakota, and the M17 is 2 years old, tops, maybe a year old. So again, you know, they claimed they did change some stuff and fixed it. Maybe they did, because we just can't get these uncommanded, you just throw it on the floor and it popped. We far exceeded SAMI spec drop testing. There's this 4 feet onto a rubber mat. My brother in Christ, we are dropping them from rooftops and we still couldn't get it to go. So I don't think that that's us not knowing how to do a drop test properly or anything like that. So, you know, at the end of the day, make your own decisions, make an informed decision. We just wanted to throw this out there because, you know, if you're going to do something ridiculous, you're going to get a result that maybe not be a realistic one. So anyways, thanks for watching.